A quick service announcement. Today, February 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, SBJ's website will be down momentarily for scheduled maintenance. And subscribers, you'll be logged out of your account. Once maintenance is complete, you will need to log in on your web browser and the SBJ mobile app using your existing login to access sportsbusinessjournal.com. Of course, you can always let me know if you have any questions. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, February 4th. Good morning. I'm Abe Madcore. I am off to New Orleans today. SBJ's Ben Fisher was on the ground on Monday for Commissioner Roger Goodell's opening press conference. And among the highlights, first, Goodell acknowledged the NFL is exploring options to create men's and women's flag football leagues, and they've received tremendous amount of interest from investors. Goodell said they're looking at flag football at all levels, from the youth level all the way up to opportunities to create professional-type leagues for men and women. So that's fairly newsy, a professional-type league around flag football. Goodell also kind of downplayed talk about a Super Bowl eventually being played outside the United States. He did say that would only come if a permanent franchise were located overseas in Europe outside the United States. He also stopped short of saying that it would be likely the NFL would exercise their opt-out in their media rights deal when it comes up after the 2029 season. It's impossible to predict the markets in 2029, but let's just say Roger Goodell and all NFL owners believe their rights are incredibly undervalued. So they will take this step most likely to opt out of their media rights deal after the 2029 season. So Goodell touched on those issues and plenty of other things. For a full recap, go to sportsbusinessjournal.com. But Roger Goodell setting the message for the week in New Orleans. Let's stay with the NFL. It's been a very good year for Washington's NFL team, and the Commanders are feeling good about things. Owner Josh Harris said the team plans to stick with their name, the Commanders, and is not considering another rebrand. Josh Harris believes the Commanders name has been embraced by the organization, by the players, by the fans, and he said right now the Commanders name means something. But he did suggest the team would feature more shout-outs to the franchise's past in its marketing campaign. It could also use the team's previous logos in certain merchandise and in other areas, but they will always look back at the team's history. Old uniforms could return, for example. But right now, Commanders is the name for the foreseeable future. But right now, Josh Harris feeling very good about things. He also said the franchise is focused on securing a new stadium and said talks are ongoing with Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia. He said 2030 was a reasonable target for opening a new stadium. But again, the Commanders easily one of the best stories of the NFL this season. Staying in the NFC East, Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie has to be considered one of the strongest owners in the NFL. His team has been consistent in winning, and his success over time is proof of his management style and approach. Many fans of the Boston Celtics were hoping that Jeffrey Lurie would buy into his hometown team. He is a self-described diehard Celtics fan from Chestnut Hill. But Lurie said on Monday that he is not expected to be part of the bidding for the Celtics, despite his name being bandied about. He said he's not really interested in acquiring another sports team and doesn't expect any deal for the Celtics to happen. Now, recently, Jeffrey Lurie raised more than $600 million by selling approximately 8% of the Eagles. That sale fueled some rumors that Lurie was setting up cash or setting up finances to join an investment group to buy the Celtics. But Lurie said Monday he doesn't see that happening. And all this comes as the Grosbeck family is hoping to sell the franchise for at least $5 billion and apparently has about 4 bids under consideration for the Boston Celtics, but don't count Jeffrey Lurie as being a part of any of those bids. A big court ruling on Monday, something you want to keep your eye on. A 10-person jury ruled unanimously in favor of US Soccer and Major League Soccer in a $500 million antitrust lawsuit filed by the North American Soccer League. And this verdict was talked about a lot in soccer circles and in sports league circles. And this verdict came at the end of a 3-week trial in New York. The North American Soccer League was led by attorney Jeffrey Kessler. He said that they will appeal this verdict. And I'll just say this was a big win for MLS and US Soccer. It marks the end of a 7-year process that began when US Soccer denied the North American Soccer League's application to be classified as a Division II league. And so the North American Soccer League filed its lawsuit after that, initially asking for $500 million in damages. The league felt that they were being conspired against to prevent upstart leagues from competing with Major League Soccer. $500 million in damages would have been very harmful to Major League Soccer and US Soccer, and this came after testimonies from MLS Commissioner Don Garber, former US Soccer President Sunil Gulati, and again, this was a very important trial, and right now comes out in favor of US Soccer and Major League Soccer. The fallout continues from the massive NBA trade over the weekend, but the news that Mark Cuban wasn't involved in the Luka Doncic trade shouldn't have been a surprise, should it? Cuban confirmed he wasn't involved in the call to send Luka to the Lakers. Some acted very surprised, but I am not. From everything I've heard, Cuban hasn't been part of day-to-day basketball operations since selling his stake in the team to the Adelson family. There was a time when it was positioned that Mark Cuban was still overseeing basketball, but I just never thought there was a way that was going to happen with new ownership. Patrick Dumont, the son-in-law of Miriam Adelson, has been the Mavericks governor, and Dumont was clear that he supported the decision by his general manager, Nico Harrison, who really was the driver of the Luka deal. But the bottom line, this move reinforces a new day and a new age for the Mavericks, and it's one that doesn't necessarily include Mark Cuban in any key decisions. A couple of quick things to end the Buzzcast. Grand Slam Track, that is a startup series founded by Michael Johnson, has reached a deal to broadcast its inaugural season on the CW and Peacock. It's for the 2025 season. Financial terms were not disclosed. Range Sports advised Grand Slam Track on the deal. This track series kicks off in April. They'll have 4 events this year: Kingston, Jamaica, Miami, Philadelphia, Los Angeles. Michael Johnson wants to build a track series and have the best compete against each other 4 times during the year. He has some money. He secured more than $30 million from investors. Now he has some distribution. We'll just have to see whether this finds an audience. And let's end with people. Adam Davis is departing 2 Circles, where he's been managing director of North America since October of 2021. Adam Davis, well known in sports business circle, of course, worked for Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment for years. Now he'll be leaving 2 Circles in April. He said that he is excited for his next business. What exactly that is, it's unclear, but he will remain in sports and entertainment. During his tenure at 2 Circles, the company grew revenue, made some acquisitions of its own. It was sold in 2024 by Bruin Capital to Charterhouse Capital Partners. Adam Davis was a 2016 40 Under 40 honoree, now leaving 2 Circles in April. And so that is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, February 4th. I'm Abe Matcore. I'll be in New Orleans the rest of this week. My colleagues will bring you the Buzzcast. So until I speak to you again, stay healthy, be good to each other. I'll speak with you down the road.